So I have just won myself $9 grand, and I cannot believe it. I've never won anything in my life. To have gone through what I've gone through and come out with 9K, I feel on top of the world. Don't get better than this.
Yeah! You are a star. You've been amazing tonight. That was incredible.
So we walked into the first challenge and I see Santa Claus lying on the table and we've got to put his nails apart to get some clues. Being our first challenge was a bit tricky, so we didn't know what to expect and we pretty much messed it up. Because we were more interested about the presents rather than the task itself.
On the first day of Christmas.
What's that, a bottle of vodka?
I'll have it. The first challenge did scare me more than I thought it was going to. Seeing as it was just Santa Claus lying on the table as well. As the body was moving, like there was nails all over the place, there was spiders, cockroaches, maggots, you name it, it was there.
Jesus Christ.
The second challenge I think was probably the worst for me. As we go into a dark, dingy house with no lights on, Rachel ain't helping as she's screaming constantly.
Would like a light, yeah?
And then we had to get in separate rooms, which I think made it 10 times worse. We were already put apart. So I'm in one bed, Rachel in the other, there's some creepy recording going on, shouting and screaming at us. And all of a sudden there's just two girls at the end of my bed. And I just didn't like it. Just seeing them both standing there, not saying anything, was worse than when they were actually screaming, because it was like I was just waiting for them to do something to come towards me. But the last challenge, and the scariest thing for me was that I was in the middle of the woods and I didn't know anything that was around me. So there was nothing around me at all, so anything could come from any direction. And all of a sudden lights would come on and there's some creepy old woman in the corner playing a violin, which, you know, she wouldn't even look at me, which I think made it worse because I didn't know if she was going to turn around and scream at me or like, I couldn't play the piano, I had no clue what I was doing.
This can't. Fucking hell.
Never played the piano before in my life and I never will again after that experience. It's put me off musical instruments for life.
Oh, there's a fucking hand underneath there.
When I heard the dogs for the first time, I did the stupid thing by looking back, and I've looked back, and they're the size of bears, not dogs, they're like super dogs. And it did completely scare me, because I'm still at the gate, and I've looked back, and it just, in my head, made things 10 times worse.
Don't look back, Jordan. Come on.
Shit, man.
Just don't do it, honestly, it's the most horrifying experience I've ever done. And if someone asked me if I wanted to do it again, I would say no. So I'm glad I've done it, but I'll write that off in the books, never again, I'll never have to come back on it.